Hello there, friends and followers from around the world, and welcome to this live stream. This is Q8Pilot, your host for today's show, and welcome to X-Plane 11 and the Felis Boeing 747-200. Today, we're doing kind of a redemption flight. So a lot of you guys have requested that I do another flight on the Felis Boeing 747 after the disastrous landing at the last stream. So I want to welcome first all of you to the stream, and thank you for joining me on this Thursday evening here in Kuwait, the beginning of the weekend. We've got with us Count Davis, hello my friend. Spoggy41, hello. Debo El Shems, hello my friend and welcome. Dougal McTavish, how are you my friend? Avgeek, Joshua, we've got Bernandez with us. Andy, hello my friend, welcome. And thanks for all the support that you've been given to the channel. Stan, hello there my friend and welcome. I want to welcome all of you today. Should be an exciting flight. Where it's going to be a short one today. We are at the London Stansted Airport, Echo Golf Sierra, and we're going to be flying north to Ireland, specifically to Dublin Airport, Echo India Delta Whiskey. The flight is going to be a short flight, and we're going to be cruising at a low altitude today. Luke, hello, my friend, and welcome. Now, all of you guys have seen the announcement of X-Plane 12. I started seeing some content from some of the creators. Carl, hello, my friend, and welcome. No pressure today, absolutely no pressure. And yeah, I'm very excited about X-Plane 12. And I'm sure a lot of you guys, if not all of you, have already seen the keynote at the Flight Sim Expo and the announcement from Laminar Research of all the stuff that's going to come in X-Plane 12. Now, I'm very excited about it because it really addresses a lot of the issues that we've talked about, and they've listened finally to the community, I think, in really fixing the weather, fixing the ATC. The ATC's got major improvement, and the clouds, the ground, again, the refraction, water refraction on the ground, and many other things, which I think is going to make X-Plane really the simulator of choice for me, at least. Now, as far as the scenery is concerned, of course, Microsoft Flight Simulator is the #1 simulator in terms of scenery and the depiction of the world. But nonetheless, X-Plane is still a very strong contender in the flight simulation market. It remains to keep its position with most serious flight simmers out there and those who are interested in flight training. It remains to be the simulator of choice until this day. So I'm very excited about the new stuff. Jacob, hello, my friend, and welcome. Will most of our add-ons work with it? Well, as we've seen, Jacob, in X-Plane, when we migrated from X-Plane 10 to X-Plane 11, so a lot of the add-ons took some time to be made compatible with the new platform. But my hunch is that since everything is Vulcan metal, so anything that is Vulcan metal compatible today should work with very minor tweaks in the new version of X-Plane. That would be my hunch, but of course I cannot be for sure. There are still a lot of unknowns there. I'm sure developers will find this as an opportunity to charge a little more to get a new version for X-Plane. Some probably will not, but that remains to be seen. Each business has a different strategy when moving to the new simulator, but hopefully it won't be too painful. I know that there has been a lot of investment made by a lot of you guys for X-Plane 11. So hopefully you won't have to spend much, but I'm almost for certain that X-Plane 12 is going to charge the full fee. So Laminar will probably charge the full fee for the simulator. Maybe they will offer an upgrade, so a discounted rate for those who have already X-Plane 11 or who have purchased X-Plane 11 maybe in the last 6 months before the release. But that remains to be seen, remains to be the strategy of Laminar Research, and whatever the price is, whether they offer a discount or not, and whether I'm a beta tester or whether I get a copy or not, I am going to buy X-Plane 12. And I will tell you right off the bat that on the first day X-Plane 12 release, I will be doing a giveaway for you guys. And I don't know, I'll probably throw in like 5 to 10 copies for you guys. All right, so we are today going to be flying the British Airways Felis Boeing 747-200. I've always loved this British Airways delivery. It reminds me of my childhood a lot. We used to travel with the family to the UK quite frequently, and we used to fly this livery until this very day. British Airways flies out of Kuwait International on the 747-400. But back in the days, they used to fly, I think they used to fly the 200 out of Kuwait International. Diego, hello there, my friend, and welcome. Live Cockpits, hello, my friend. Use INUS this time. Live Cockpits, I will take you up on your offer in my next Felis 747 flight, and I would love to have you as my guest on the channel if you'd like to join me, and we will configure the INUS together, kind of similar to what I did with the Phenom 300 with Captain Guillaume Fontes. Hello to him and my best regards to him if he's watching the stream. So today we are going to be flying this short route today from London Stansted to Dublin, and we can take a quick look here at the information here. As you can see here, we're going to be taking off runway 22 at London Stansted through the November uniform Golf Bravo 01 Romeo and we are going to be landing through the Uplink 2 X-ray at Dublin Airport at runway 28 left. We are going to be performing an ILS approach today. Our final cruise altitude, ladies and gentlemen, today is 24,000 feet, and it should be a short flight. It should be a fun flight, and hopefully we will successfully land the aircraft at the airport this time around. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to hop into the, it looks like there's an update for Sim Toolkit Pro, but let's hop into the cockpit and begin the preparation. I'm going to go to the iPad here, and we are going to go first to, actually before we do the iPad, let's go ahead and turn on our batteries. Battery is on, and standby power on normal. All right, now we can head back here and we can go to refuel. And if we look at our plan, you will see that we will need, if we scroll down here and we look at all the numbers here, 24.5 tons of fuel. So we can remove about 60. So let's remove about 50, 55 or so, 58, there, 58, instant refuel, 25.6, I think that's close enough, 24.5, yeah, we can remove another 500, I think that's close enough, and we are going to head back to the payload, and we're going to add our passengers. So we'll add about 366 is the number in our flight plan. So let's go ahead and add that. Yes, the Landor livery is the very best BA had. I love the flag. The tail of the livery is just fantastic. Cargo to load, let's take a look at the cargo. 1.4 tons of fuel. So that's 1.5, and instant board and load, and now we have all the passengers, crew, and the cargo loaded into the aircraft. Fine. Let's go to the ground, and we'll set the chocks.
Cockpit to ground. Put the chocks on.
Right. And let's connect the GPU.
Cockpit to ground. Connect ground power.
All right, ground power is being
ground.
connected.
Disconnect ground power.
Chocks are on.
Cockpit to ground. Connect ground power.
All right, don't know what happened there. So let's wait for the ground power to connect. There we go. We have ground power now, and
Ground
we can
power
turn it
connected.
on. Now, normally you'd have to check external power, the volts and the hertz, make sure everything is good there, which it is, and we can now connect the ground power. Ground power is now connected to the aircraft. Next, we are going to turn on the galley power buses. They're all in the on position, and the galley control to override. Galley lab and fan to auto. Galley chillers can go on. We'll leave the DC bus isolation. Humidifier is turned on. Trim air will turn on and so that we don't forget it. And manual, so we'll leave this on manual. That's perfectly fine. And then we can do the fire test. A, both, and B. That is checked. And we can also check the equipment cooling and the blower selector. Wing overheat is tested, and everything checks good here. Right, and let's go down here and we'll do the test for our anti-skid landing gear tilt inputs. Press here, potable water is sufficient, and everything else here looks good to me. All right, so let's bring up the Sim Toolkit Pro plan, and we are going to go to, let's see here. Let's take a look at the weather information. As you can see, the weather at Stansted Airport is, we've got 217 knot wind 7,000 broken at 800. And then let's see here. QNH is 012, is it? QNH is 1015. Temperature is 14 Celsius, so it's kind of cool. We can leave the APU at the time being, so it should be still cool in the cabin. 1015, let's set that. So 1015. And the final cruise altitude is 24,000 feet. We're going to set the cabin pressure to 25,000. There we go. So that's all set. Now we can go to the overhead panel, and we are going to turn on our radios. Yeah, let's go ahead and perform the stall warning test, max speed test, over rotation test, and we can also check the wing anti-ice test. And we're going to test the probe heat, turn it on, make sure it does turn on, right, and make sure it turns on. Window heat can go on. And if we go back here, anti-skid is turned on, and body steering is armed. Let's go ahead and set this to align, and align. And emergency lights are armed. And let's go ahead and turn on the seatbelt sign and non-smoking sign and lock the cockpit door. And let's do the passenger announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. On behalf of the entire crew, welcome aboard the Boeing 747.
Parasim, hello. Maverick, hello, my friend, and welcome to the stream.
Their preparations. For now, I wish you a pleasant flight, and I will be back during the flight with further flight information.
All right. That's the the captain announcement. We're going to turn on the nav lights and logo lights. And now we can go further down. Everything else here looks good to me. We can test the cockpit voice recorder, which checks okay. And we can check the well fire detection is good. Everything else here looks good to me. All's good here. All right, so let's go ahead and set the, we'll set the selector here to INS. We'll set the heading to 220 degrees. All right, and the altitude to 24,000 feet. $24,000 is now set, and now we can program the MCDI. So there we go. So, folks, here is a tip for you guys. If you are using the honeycomb flight yoke, it's got an avionics switch, and if the avionics switch is turned off, the default FMC won't work. So make sure that those buttons are both turned on in order for you to see this. So if you see this as a black screen, blank screen, check your avionics if you have a honeycomb flight yoke. We've got Architect, hello, the legendary, welcome my friend, Luke, Peng, Wee, hello, Flyboy, welcome friends, welcome, glad to have you here on the channel. Let's go ahead now and go to the route menu and go to the co-route, and we're going to select Echo Golf Sierra Sierra to Echo India Delta Whiskey for our flight today. Could not write the plan. Why is that? All right, let's go back to our flight plan here, and let's go to flight and export the flight plan. And let's see, export to the FMS, explain 11. And let's go ahead and call it something else. We'll call it 4. Save. Hopefully we can get it from, oh, what did I do? Did I just close SimToolkit Pro? Oh, crap. I sure did. All right, let's bring it back up. All right, here we go. All right, so let's see here. Let's go to the route menu, and we're going to select this one here. Explain, could not write this flight plan. Why is that? All right, well, we're just going to have to do it manually then. All right, see, the origin airport is Echo Golf Sierra Sierra. And destination airport is Echo India Delta Whiskey. All right, and then we're going to go to the departure. And we're departing runway 22. And we're going to select, we'll say, restore the flight. Perfect. X-plane 11. And we're back in business. All right, so let's put this here. And we're going to say always on top. And now we can enter the flight plan. All right, shouldn't be too bad. Let's see, this is the SID out of London Stansted. So that's execute. And then we're going to go to the route. Let's see. Next. All right, so M183, where is the route? Next page. Okay, so the next one is it's Mike 183. Mike 183. And we're going to exit at Charlie Papa Tango. Charlie Papa Tango. Then we're going to take Uniform Lima Niner. Uniform Lima Niner. And we're going to exit at Kennett. And then we're going to take November 14. November 14. And we're going to exit at Meadog. Meadog. Come on. Okay. And then Lima 18. And we're going to exit at Ablin. And then we're going to do the Ablin to X-ray into Dublin. So we're going to execute that. Then we're going to go to departure and arrival. And we're going to select the Ablin to X-ray star and ILS 28 left. And we're going to execute that. Now, if we go to the next page, folks, we should have no discontinuities. So everything looks good here. Everything looks good here. So we can, now it looks like maybe it's because of the update. All right, so this is now good. Let's do the test here. Maximum and retest, inhibit below that we don't need. Altitude alert test, ground proximity test, and the rudder ratio test. All tests are okay. Instrument warning test is also checked now. All right. Papa Ron, hello, my friend, and welcome to the stream. SimToolKotra has some problem with importing MFS LAN to X-plane 11. I've never actually had a problem, Carl, with SimToolkit Pro, but I'm not sure. I think it's because there is an update or something. I'm not sure really why. But really never had a problem with it. R2 means it's the so X-plane 11.55 R2 it probably means release candidate 2 or revision 2. It depends. I think it's revision 2 because normally Laminar, when they are still not in release version, they would say RC1 and RC2, which is release candidate 1 and 2. But R2 probably means revision 2. So there has been a couple of revisions to 11.55. Could you do a giveaway of Traffic Global? I don't have $50. All right, AvGeek. I'll take that into consideration in my next stream. I promise you there will be a giveaway just for you, my friend, for Traffic Global by Just Fly. Great add-on. Flyboy says, when is the RTX 4000 series comes out? You're going to buy it. I don't really think so, Flyboy. simply because I think I have a very capable machine at this point, so I don't think that I need it at this point. So let's go ahead and reset now. The FMC is all good, and what we can do now, folks, is we can head back to the engineer station here and start the APU, but before we do so, we'll check the fire test and make sure all is good. And now we are good, and we can go ahead and start the APU. So the APU door is opening now, and we can start the APU. We'll just wait for the, there we go, RPM and EGT both are now rising. And at 100%, we'll turn on the APU bleed, and then we will be able to dismiss ground power unit. You're most welcome, AvGeek, and thank you for your support and for being really a loyal member of the Q8Pilot channel. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you guys who are constantly here on the channel and for all your support. Bleed air is turned on, and now we can close the APU gens, and right there, now we don't need external power anymore. And let's go ahead and bring up some air to the aircraft now. And recirc fans can go on. Everything here is good. After cargo heat to normal. We've tested that. Everything looks good here. Everything looks good here. That can wait. Everything looks good. Okay, perfect. So we can go to nav mode. The IRSs are now aligned, and all is good. All right, let's go ahead and turn on our beacon, and we can now do the before start checklist. But before we do so, let's set our altimeter to 1015, 1015, and both now read 1015, so set and cross-checked on both side captain and first officer's sides. Perfecto. All right, let's go to performance calculation. And if we take a look here, this is our takeoff weight. We can set the bugs here. All the bugs are now set, as you can see here. All our speeds are set. We're going to make sure that the transponder is in transponder and the weather are both in standby, and transponder is also in standby. We are going to select EPR for our auto throttle mode, and we are going to select go around from the EPRL mode for engine start. Everything else looks good to me, so let's go ahead and call for the before start checklist. All right, let's go back here and go to the checklist before start for the pilot and start.
Before start checklist, please. Gear lever and lights. Down and check. Brakes. Parked. Start levers. Off. Radios. On and check. Flight control hydraulic power. On. INS. Check and nav. Compasses. Slaved.
How do you save the camera position? Is it a plugin? Yes, I have X camera, Yasser.
On. Emergency lights. Armed. Exterior lights. Check. Flight instruments. Check. Altimeters and clocks. 1015. Set and cross check. Radio INS switches. Radio. Radar and transponder. Standby. Indicator lights. Check. Engine and wing anti-ice. Off. Stall warning. Check. Mach airspeed warning. Check. Auto brakes. Check and off. Body gear steering. Arm. Anti-skid. On. Autopilot and flight director. Check and off. Takeoff warning. Hold on.
Okay, I know what's happening here. Why is it not doing what it's supposed to do.
Out, off, reverse. Check.
There we go.
Auto-flight enunciators. Check. GPWS. Check. Instrument warning. Check. Flight director computer selectors. Check. Instrument source selectors. Normal. Reserve brake valve.
Amari, hello my friend, welcome.
Closed. Spoilers. Down. Static selectors. Normal. Oxygen mask and regulator. Check and emergency off. Brake pressure. Hold on.
Brake pressure is checked, that's fine.
Stabilizer trim. Check and on. Rudder and aileron trim. Check. Checklist completed.
All right, we'll go to the next checklist. Now, what we need to do is we need to come here to the overhead panel, or the engineer station, and we need to disconnect let's see here. Let's go to the engineer station. So let's go back here. Let's go to the ground. We're going to remove the chocks. We're going to disconnect the GPU.
Cockpit to ground. Disconnect ground power.
And then we are going to, let's see here. There we go.
Chocks removed. Ground power disconnected.
All right, fine. Let's go ahead and turn on the fuel. Center tank is empty. And everything else here, we need to turn off. All right, so packs are turned off. And now we can do the, everything looks good here. Yeah, all right. So let's go ahead and do the co-pilot checklist, start.
Battery, on. APU panel, check. Auxiliary power, check. Engine oil quantity, check. Fuel quantity, 2,5,1,5,3 kilograms. Fuel panel, check and set.
Scott, for the scenery, you can type in exclamation DEP for departure airport and exclamation ARR for arrival airport, and you should get the links to the scenery.
Circuit breaker.
Sven, hello my friend,
Check.
welcome.
Indicator lights, check. Electrical panel, check and set. Air conditioning controls, check and set. Fire control and wing overheat panels, check and set. Equipment cooling, check. Passenger oxygen, check. Hydraulic panel, check and set. Fuel jettison panel, check. Crew oxygen, on. Oxygen mask and regulator, check and emergency off. ADPs, off. Checklist completed.
All right, checklist is complete, ladies and gentlemen, and now we are ready to push back and start the engines. By the way, if we look at, by the way, this scenery is that of I&I built. A great scenery. This is the departure runway. So we are going to push back this way and head over straight to the runway. All right, let's go ahead and bring the pushback truck. Start pushback.
Please show me where you want to go.
And we are going to position the aircraft right here.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
All right, there we go. We're ready for engine start. And as soon as we get the clearance, we will begin with the engine number 4, and we'll start and we'll continue with the sequence 4, 3, 2, 1. No worries, Dougal. Thank you very much for being here. Sorry you're having issues with your PC. Hopefully we'll see you in the next stream. I hope you are well. Flying FS,
Okay,
hello my
all
friend,
doors
and
hatches
welcome.
are closed, ready to connect.
All right, we're ready to connect, folks. We are going to head over here to the overhead panel, and we're going to open the start valve.
Ready to start the engines.
All right.
Ready for engine start.
Perfect. Just look at the might of the 747. Beautiful.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
All right.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
All right, pushback has started, and we have clearance to start the engines. All right, let's head over here, and we're going to start with engine number 4.
Starting engine 4.
Starter valve open.
And of course, we're going to wait for 20% N2 and then introduce fuel, so we'll wait for the flight engineer to let us know when to start the engine.
20% and 2.
All right.
Fuel on.
Engine stabilized.
Perfect. So now we can start engine number 3.
Starting engine 3.
Starter valve open.
Hello, Aspen. Welcome to the stream, my friend. MC Crewfish, is the APU capable of starting 2 engines at once? I am actually not sure about that. All right, let's
Fuel on.
fuel on for engine number 3.
Light up.
Starter off.
And we're gonna again wait for the engine to stabilize before we start the engine number 2.
stabilized.
Right, engine stabilized.
Cabin crew, arm slides.
Let's go ahead and start engine number 2.
Starting engine 2.
Starter valve open.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
All right,
Parking brake set.
parking brake is set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
%% and 2.
All right, here we go. Engine number 2 is starting.
Fuel on. Light up.
Belt. Insert the metal fittings one into the other and tighten by pulling on a loose end of the strap. To release your seat belt, lift the upper portion of the...
Thank you, Live Cockpit, for the confirmation that the APU is capable of
Engine
starting
stabilized.
2 engines at once. All right, engine stabilized.
Starting engine 1.
Starting engine 1.
Starter valve open. %% and 2.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Well, thank you very much for your service.
Starter off.
Okay, starter off, and we have a good start on all 4 engines. So we're going to head
Engine
over
stabilized.
to the overhead panel, and we are going to close the start valve. We're going to come over here, and we are going to close the gens. Gens are closed, and we can now turn off the bleed air and turn off the APU. And we'll leave those, actually, we'll turn those on. And we'll turn them off right before takeoff. So all is looking good here. Let's go ahead and turn on our hydraulics. Hydraulic is on. Fuel heat remains off for departure. And let's see here. All right, let's go ahead and turn off lights and wing lights. And I think all is good here now. All right, let's go ahead and call for the, let's see, anti-skid, hydraulic, probe heat. Probe heat is turned on, and we just need to, yeah, anti-skids, hydraulic. Okay. All right, so let's bring up the checklist. So let's start.
After start checklist.
Flight recorder.
On.
Start switches.
Off.
Beacon lights.
On.
Brake pressure.
Check.
Start levers.
Idle detent.
Engine anti-ice.
Off.
Electrical panel. Check. Pack valves. Open. Dual warning lights. Out. Hydraulic panel. Check. Flight recorder. On. After start checklist completed.
Perfect. Let's go to the taxi checklist, and we are going to set our flaps to flaps 10.
Flaps 10.
And we're going to set our trim to 4.5 units. And we're going to head over to right here, and we're going to set the transponder to TARA. And we're going to set this to, there we go, I think that's fine. And now we are pretty much ready. Let's turn on the weather system on. And let's see, stabilizer, probe heat, flight control. Let's do the flight control check. And you know what? Let's do it from the outside here. Pull up, pull down, pull left, pull right. And we are good. All right, so flight check is done. Yaw dampers, seatbelt, APU, fuel heat is off. Totalizer, gross weight. We need to set that. So let's go back to the engineer station. 272156. All right, 2722562. 272. I think that's close enough. All right, and now we can go back to the checklist and start.
Taxi checklist, please.
Flaps. Flaps 10.
Flaps 10.
Takeoff data. EPR and airspeed bugs.
Ooh, wait. We need to put this on
Set and cross check.
takeoff data.
Stabilizer trim.
Set in green band.
Probe heat.
On.
Flight controls.
Check.
Yaw dampers.
Check.
Seatbelt and shoulder harness.
Check.
APU. Off. Fuel heat. Off. Totalizer and gross weight. Set. Flight engineer and pilot panels. Check. Aft cargo heat. Normal. Seatbelt and shoulder harness. Check. Taxi checklist completed.
All right, so we are ready now for departure, ladies and gentlemen. Let's release the parking brake. And what we're going to do, we're going to set this one to INS because we are flying using the FMC. We're going to make sure this is on INS. We're going to turn on the flight directors. Flight directors are now turned on. Alt select is set to our cruise altitude, which is 24,000 feet. And we are ready to go. You can see the weather radar system is now operational, and we're good to go. Let's give it some power and head over to the runway. You gotta love this Boeing 747. All right, perfect. Let's bring the aircraft to a complete stop here. And parking brake set. Let's go do, and the before takeoff checklist, icing, consideration, ignitions need to go to the on position. All right. And transponder is set, pack valves are closed, so we need to close those. And let's see, pressurization across feed valve. All right, let's start.
Before takeoff checklist.
Icing considerations.
Check.
Cabin alert.
Check.
Cabin ready.
Transponder.
Check. Cabin crew, take your seats.
Ignition.
Flight start.
Body gear steering.
Disarm.
Pack valves. Closed. Pressurization mode selector. Auto. Fuel boost pumps. On. Cross feed valves. Check. Before takeoff checklist completed.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are cleared for takeoff runway 22 here at London Stansted. We are
Parking brake released.
on our way now to Dublin Airport in Ireland. Roger, how are you, my friend? I actually never had a problem with SimToolkit Pro.
On runway 22.
All right, folks, we are cleared for takeoff.
Stabilized.
Let's go.
Thrust set.
80 knots.
Check.
V1. Rotate.
Rotate.
Positive rate. Gear up.
I got carried away with that flyby. So we're just going to bring the nose down a little bit and gain some speed. All right, flaps.
Flaps 5.
Flaps 5. And we are going to set the speed to 250 knots. Right, flaps up.
Flaps 1.
Autopilot is turned on. We're going to switch to vertical speed and climb power. There we go. Right, we're climbing now, and we can put this in the off position. And now we can go to the engineer station. We can turn on the packs. And now this should let some cool air into the cabin. And we're gonna turn on the fuel heat to auto, 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 and auto. Okay, and we can turn off the runway turn-off lights, and we'll leave the wing lights for now, that's fine. All right, let's go to the after start checklist. Flaps. I got carried away there. All right, let's go ahead and start.
After takeoff checklist.
Gear lever. Off.
Altimeter setting.
Landing and logo lights.
Hold on.
Let's see. Did we pass 10,000? Not yet. All right, so let's just say check.
Ignition.
Check.
Okay.
Seatbelts and no smoking sign.
Check.
Back valves. Open. Fuel heat. Auto. After takeoff checklist completed.
All right, 29902 is set, and we are approaching 10,000 feet. Let's kill the landing lights, and let's release our passengers and cabin crew.
10,000.
All right, and at this point, I think we can switch to IAS mode. And this should now maintain our speed, and we're going to continue to climb to 4,000. We can, by the way, reduce the vertical speed a little bit. That's fine, 2,500, that's okay. About 3,000, something like that. That's okay. All right, let's set this to 275. And let's go to Alt Select. Very good. All right, so let's do a flyby. Yes, I agree, Glenn. Reflected reality, I mentioned this in my first stream. And yes, he does have excellent tutorials on this aircraft, very in-depth, like you said, and I highly recommend his channel. Please, guys, visit Reflected Reality, subscribe to his channel, give him a few hundred likes and subscribes. Well worth it, really well worth the time. Do you know when Fly JSON Q400 is going to be released? I do know. I do have the date from Jack himself. Unfortunately, folks, I cannot disclose the date or give any additional information on the Q400. It's still under embargo, but it should. The streaming of the aircraft should begin very soon. I am working with the team on the official trailer for the Q400. I've done a few flights with it. That's all I can say, and I tell you guys, I'm amazed. I'm just amazed at the level of detail in the Q400. So, We are now approaching 18,000 for 24,000. We are on our way to Dublin in Ireland, and we are looking good. Speed is good, altitude is good, everything is looking fine and dandy, and yeah, everything is cool. We're doing pretty well. So if we look at our flight plan here, yeah, if we look at Sim Toolkit Pro, we can go to right here. Ooh, what is the airplane doing? Doesn't seem like it's doing the right thing, does it? All right, so let's do let's see here. Let's execute. Well, it's a good thing we checked, because the aircraft was kind of doing something on its own. But now we should go back to the transition, about 22 nautical miles from our current position. Not a biggie, really, if you ask me. But yeah, it looks like it was doing some strange things. So now at least we are on the correct path to... We can actually go to Silva. Top of climb, yeah. I think we can go directly to Silva. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll go direct to Silva. Add that here, execute, and now we're just going to go direct to Silva. About 45 nautical miles from our current position. If we go to the next page, yeah. So we're going to go this way, and then we should continue our flight plan normally. All right, so we are almost at 24,000 feet. So we're going to come back here, and we're going to set the EPR mode to Mach cruise. And then everything else here should be fine. Are we at 24? Almost at 24,000 feet. So we're going to hold the current Mach. And at 24,000 feet exactly, we can select Alt Hold. And then we are good. Right, so that's 24,000. We're going to go Alt Hold, and now we are looking good. Yeah, all is set now. And if we look at our flight plan, you see now that we're heading to Silva, which is the point we flying direct. I'm not sure why the aircraft hasn't flown the SID correctly, but we should be now on our path about 37, 36 nautical miles, and this is also confirmed on the FMC here, so we are now looking good. Let's see. Alex says, hello everyone. Hello Alex, and welcome to the stream, my friend. Emmanuel asks, when are you going to fly the 757 United Battleship Gray? I know you won't. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm currently planning a flight in the BAE 146, followed by perhaps a flight in one of the FlyJSIM aircraft, and perhaps I'm looking also at the SR-22 is a great aircraft to fly. So I'm definitely looking to have those, but I also want to cover a few more tutorials, and due to my crappy hotel Wi-Fi, I'm watching this in 144p. But the sound is okay. Perfect. Well, I'm glad something is working well for you, Glenn. All right, so as you can see, guys, now we are holding the Mach speed. We are holding 24,000 feet, and everything is looking good. The next checklist, of course, is the descent and approach checklist. We are going to go to Sim Toolkit Pro right here, and we're going to go to Navigraph, and that's us right there. And now we're on the correct path. We are going to go to Dublin, and we are going to select the approach, and the approach is 28 left, I believe. Let's just make sure. 28 left, that's correct. So let's go back here, and we're going to select 28 left. ILS is what we're interested in, and if we look at the details here, we need to be at 2,500 feet. And let's see, ILS frequency is 111.35 with a final approach course of 278 degrees. All right, so let's go ahead and set that up. 111.35, 111.35, and we're going to set the same here. 111.35, approach course is 278. Let's set it on this side as well. All right, 278 is now set, and we can ignore the heading bug for now. We should actually set it to the current heading, but that's fine. We are looking good, and if we remove Navigraph, we can see now we're heading to the correct waypoint, and we'll be at top of descent before you know it. A quick update on the weather information at Dublin. If we look here at the weather, you can see 190 degrees, 5-knot wind, 150, 230 variable. And then you've got a few clouds at 1,200 feet, broken at 2,200, broken at 6,000, temperatures 13 Celsius, dew point 12, QNH 1006, no significant change in the next 2 hours or so as far as the METAR is involved. One of the interesting things in X-Plane 12 is going to be really the weather. And if you watch the keynote, you listen to the description of the weather and how the weather is actually, the METAR information is loaded. It loads the weather at, at a near proximity of the airport station. So the normally the weather station is somewhere close to the airport, and that's where the weather is loaded. But then the rest of the world really depends on airports. So if you're flying in an area that does not have any stations, then the weather is probably not very accurate, or probably there's no weather at all. So, one of the things that's very interesting is that they've written a lot of code to actually depict weather, real weather, outside the window of the airport stations, which I think is remarkable. So that's one thing, again, I think X-Plane excels in, which is not the depiction of weather, but the actual injection of weather into the sim. And of course, there are a lot of add-ons, and I'm sure developers will update their add-ons, such as Active Sky, FS Global Real Weather, and all the other add-ons to work with the new version of X-Plane. All right, so if we take a look now quickly here, you can see that we are back on track. We kind of left off, I'm not sure what happened, but you see here that we flew the SID, and then the aircraft kind of did its own thing. So yeah, we are now back on track, and we're flying the flight plan, and top of descent is right here, so it shouldn't be too long before we reach our top of descent. About 32 minutes before we land into our destination. All's looking good right now, and all aircraft systems are operational per design intent. We can, by the way, turn those off now. We don't need these to be in flight start. Okay, And we definitely do not need the wing lights. Strobes are fine. All right, everything else here looks good. Let's do a flyby. And back at the cockpit. Almost the same workload as Concorde. Yeah, it's an amazing aircraft. A said before, but you were busy. I bought the BAE 146 after your recommendation. Brilliant aircraft, but a handful to fly and land. Absolutely. The BAE 146 is probably a study level aircraft of the BAE 146. It is a very authentic aircraft, very well built by Just Flight and Thronda, and I highly recommend it. It's one of the top aircraft, really. In the recent years, I think X-Plane developers have really excelled in developing very high fidelity aircraft. But as much as high fidelity aircraft have come to the scene in X-Plane 11, we've also seen a lot of aircraft that are not, at par with the, standard that we have come to expect. There's another thing that I don't quite understand until this day, is that developers, they kind of either are oblivious of what others do, or they just decide to ignore it, or they're just too proud of they want to do, but they kind of do things that are exactly the same. So you'll find so many Cessnas, and they're more or less the same in terms of fidelity. And then you'll say too many Airbuses, Boeings, and I don't quite understand why would a developer develop an aircraft that's already out there, especially if the aircraft is done to an acceptable standard. Now I understand, for example, there isn't really a good 777 for X-Plane. I would be delighted to see a high fidelity one, and I think version 2 by Flight Factory is going to do just that. There is no A380, for example, and that is something that I'd like to see. We've seen the aircraft by Airfoil Labs are now also doing the Cessna 172 next generation, which is probably going to be awesome, just judging by what they have done with the initial 172 and the King Air 350. They again rotate sim. Those are very unique aircraft and very much welcome. But then you'll find a lot of aircraft that are kind of repeat of the same thing, and I don't understand it. And you'd find the same thing with scenery, by the way. You're most welcome, Retroflyer. Thank you for always being here. P3D 777 version 2. Yes, it is very good. I love the PMDG 777 for P3D, and I am waiting for the 777 version 2 by Flight Factor. I&I Builds is doing an A380. Yeah, that is correct. Yes, they are doing an A380. And judging the quality of their I&I Builds A310, the Beluga, and the A300, I tell you guys, I cannot wait to have the A380. MD-11 by Rotsin is looking nice. Absolutely. I've seen some of the pictures and they are looking very good. Thanks for the recommendation. That much appreciated. You're most welcome, Mark. And thank you for being here on the stream. All right, let's take a look at our flight here next. So we are not too far, by the way, from top of descent. A few miles, and then we'll begin our descent into Dublin. And hopefully this time we won't make a mess. I'm going to try my best to redeem myself after the terrible landing in the last flight. And I think I ran a poll on the channel, and most of you guys, actually much to my surprise, wanted me to do another flight on the 747 and and redeem myself. So of course your wish is my command, folks, and if that's what you want to do, again, I want to create content that you guys like, and it's my way of, again, saying thank you for all your support. And I promise you that there will be very soon another giveaway on the Q8Pilot channel. So and there is something that I'm planning as follows. So recently I've reached 2,000 followers on Twitter, which is really a social media platform that I haven't really invested too much time in to understand it very well, but I know a lot of you guys use it. So I kind of just publish, my videos there, just kind of to let people know. Facebook is another one that I haven't really done too much to, to spice up. So mainly I do YouTube, but I do have an Instagram account as well. And yeah, so my next thing, or the next giveaway, I'm planning one when I reach 60,000 subscribers on YouTube. There's going to be a massive giveaway on the channel. It's probably going to be a 1,000+ giveaway on the channel. It's going to be massive, seriously. And there is another giveaway that I'm planning when I reach 1,000 subscribers on Instagram, and that is going to be also a big giveaway. It's probably going to be run in the range of $500 or so. And when I reach 3,000 followers on Twitter, there's going to be another giveaway. So I kind of set those milestones for myself, and once I reach those milestones, I'm going to do a huge giveaway at every milestone. Another milestone is when I reach 100 members on YouTube. That's going to be another giveaway. But I will also be doing giveaways with every stream. I know I've said this before, I haven't really stuck to it. And it's mainly, folks, it's mainly due to time constraints. I haven't really had too much time. I had to cancel the stream yesterday because I got home very late, and I was just not in the mood, honestly, to stream. I was very tired and just wanted to really go to sleep and get some rest. So those are crazy. Yeah. So definitely in terms of giveaways, guys, if you are a member of the Q8Pilot channel, if you're a subscriber to the Q8Pilot channel, you can always bet on giveaways on the channel. I always do giveaways. And by the way, I'll tell you guys right off the bat, unless otherwise specified explicitly by myself, all the giveaways on the Q8Pilot channel are sponsored by myself. So they come from my own pocket. There's no sponsors of the channel, and and only when it is the case, I will explicitly mention that. And I mentioned that during the INI build, the first stream. There was the INI build management team has graciously offered a copy to the community. But all other giveaways are sponsored by Q8Pilot channel, by myself, basically. Also, what clouds are you using? They look very nice. Oh, I'm using XP Realistic version 2, and I'm using the Nordic Extreme preset. Scott says, your streams are much appreciated. Thank you for giving back to the followers and the community. Well, Scott, thank you very much, my friend, for your outstanding support and your generosity and your kind words, real inspiration. And really, you guys, I mean, your kind words really motivate me to continue. It gives me, this is really what drives me forward, is all the comments that you guys give me, all the encouragement. And I do apologize for not answering all the emails that I receive, but I tell you guys, work has been crazy. It's been really sucking a lot of my time. And yeah, I normally, I'm doing a lot of hours, so I normally get home very tired, and I just don't feel, you know, I don't feel in the mood. You know, it needs a lot of motivation to do a video and edit the video. So recently I haven't been doing much videos. I am, though, trying as much as possible to do the streams and provide the reviews in the streams. A lot of you have indicated that this is a better format or a preferred format. So that's what I'm going to do moving forward. I will definitely do videos moving forward, but for the time being, I think the streams are the way to go, considering my time schedule. Camille is asking X-Vision. You mean X-Vision? Yeah, I'm sorry if I said something else. It is X-Vision version 2 is what I'm using. Massive giveaways, absolutely, Omari. Lots and lots of giveaways are coming on the Q8Pilot channel in the very near future. Mark, ICG-737. My thoughts on this 737 is that it is a great aircraft, really a very high fidelity, one that I would recommend. However, beware that there are still a lot of shortcomings in the aircraft, such as the FMC and the lack of updates. So when the aircraft first came out, it came out for X-Plane 10, by the way, the ICG-737, and it was, at the time it was released, it was the #1 add-on for X-Plane 11. It was the highest fidelity aircraft available for the platform. And the team of the ICG are, you know, have real jobs, and they have families, and, you know, I think they kind of got, you know, busy with their lives after the release. There were a few updates, so they made the aircraft available for X-Plane 11, and there were a couple of updates after that. Recently, during the pandemic, there was a couple of updates to the aircraft, but then it's gone silent again. So so really, the aircraft is phenomenal, really, but the lack of updates will probably hold some people back, especially when knowing that the price is not cheap for the aircraft. What about the M-Spark 744 review? I will definitely plan that, and I'm sorry, AvGeek, I know you've asked for this before. I will try to accommodate your request in the future. The only two things that let the ICG down slightly are the doors don't open, and the FMC has no hold function. Aside from that, it's very good. I agree with you, Andy, there. I don't really care much for the doors, to be honest, but the FMC needs a little bit of work. When is top of descent? Top of descent is not too far. So if we look here, this is the aircraft. This is us right here, and this is top of descent. So we're not too far from top of descent now. We should be starting our descent in a short while. Pilot's frequencies are set. All's looking good. Let's see. I am getting a message that the stream quality is not that good. Excuse me. So I'm not sure if you guys are experiencing any issues. Well, if it's good for you, then okay. All right, Scott. Well, I'm glad it's good for you guys because I'm just getting a message here on YouTube Studio telling me that all right, I've got excellent connection now. All right, perfect. All right, no issues. I think it was just a small glitch. All right, so let's take a look at the top of descent. So we are not too far from top of descent, as you can see. This is TOD, this is us. So we are going to go ahead and reset the MCP altitude now to 2,500 feet, which is our initial approach altitude. So 2,400 is set, and we are going to set the alt speed to 250 knots. There we go, 250 is set. And now we are going to switch to speed. So we're going to go back here and we're going to select speed. Right, and now we should start reducing our speed to 250 knots in preparation for the descent, and we'll maintain 250. Yeah, probably we can do a little faster than that, but I prefer to go slow, nice and slow, as we begin our descent into Dublin. And I think we are now good to begin the descent. If you look here, you see this is the top of descent mark, and that's us right there. So again, we're pretty close to top of descent. MCP altitude is set, so let's go ahead and do the checklist here. Start.
Approach checklist, please.
Seatbelts and shoulder harness.
Check.
Seatbelts and no smoking signs.
On.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Exterior lights.
Check.
Outer brakes.
Hold on. Low.
Radio INS switches.
We're going to skip that.
Flight director computer selectors.
Check.
Brake pressure.
Check.
Spoilers.
Armed.
Altimeters.
1013.
EPR and airspeed bugs.
Set and cross-check.
Seatbelts and shoulder harness. Check. Fuel panel.
All right, let's begin the descent.
Fuel heat. This.
All right, let's go to the engineer panel.
Off. EPR computer. Wait. Go around. Cabin altitude. Check. Circuit breakers. Check. Approach checklist completed.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the approach checklist is now completed, and we're going to continue now our descent to 2,500 feet. Let's go ahead and check the altimeter at Dublin, and the altimeter is 100. Is it 6 or 8? 6. 1006. Okay, so we're looking good, and let's take a look at the outside. Tell you guys, I absolutely adore X-Plane 11. And I tell you that X-Plane 12 is really going to redo everything again, and it's I really can't wait to get my hands on a copy of X-Plane 12. Yeah, I agree, Amari. Absolutely gorgeous view. Here's one here. We can go this way and maybe go look at that, folks. Whoa, look at that. That is absolutely epic. Beautiful. Look at the wing and the reflection here on the wing. It's really very well made aircraft by Felis. Beautiful. Just really beautiful. All right. If we go back to the checklist, or actually let's go to performance, landing performance, and we can see the clean configuration 247. So we can actually reduce our speed to 247. That's what I'm going to do, 247. Let's do that. And flaps 1, 227, flaps 5 at 207, flaps 10 at 187, and then flaps 30 at 152. VREF is 147. So those are our speeds. And let's go ahead and set the speed bugs. Are they set? They are definitely set. And so we are looking good. And we continue to descend. And if we look here at our flight plan, let's see. So this is runway 28, 7, 4, 11, 21, 27, 37, 39. We're fine. We're fine. We have sufficient time to descend to 2500. So we're looking good. All right. Again, EPR mode is on go round. I have selected speed, and this should take care of the speed for us. Throughout. We are at 247 knots right now, and the approach altitude, initial approach altitude is 2,500 feet, and we are now descending through 15,000 for 2,500, and all is looking good. Do you know Nil Prober is enhanced Cloudscape spyware version better than the free one? Quite honestly, they both have issues. I know the developer has sent me a message on Discord. He's working on some of the features. I owe him a response on his message. I haven't had time to do it, but I know for a fact that he's working on an update. And do you know that the engine shake on their guns in turbulence is amazing? Yeah. All right, we're approaching Dublin, folks, and all is looking good. So that's by the way what things are looking like here. Where are we? Let's see. Auto follow me. All right, here we are. So if we scroll out, we're still looking good. We can probably reduce our rate of descent a little bit. About 1,500 feet. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, we're approaching 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and turn on the landing lights and runway turn off lights, wing and logo lights. All the lights are now turned on. We're actually too low for the current sector, so I'm going to reduce our rate of descent a little bit here. And we can go to about 500 feet per minute.
10,000.
10,000 feet. And then we can resume again right after we cross Ablin. All right, I'll take a short break, guys, and be right back. All right, I am back, and we are descending through 900,000. If you look here, so 2 nautical miles, we need to be, so we're actually too low for the current sector, which is okay. That's fine. And then we'll go next here. You see there is a restriction at 7,000, 2,500 feet is the platform altitude. So we are looking good in terms of our altitude. We'll keep it that way, and we should be fine. Gotta love the flybys in X-Plane. Yeah, Mari, I could use a drink probably. I actually tell you guys, I needed a cigarette break. It's a habit I picked up, and I wish I could quit it. So I just went to have some nicotine. Yeah, I've got my coffee here to keep me awake throughout the stream. The C-17 is pretty simple, but I've enjoyed flying it in the last year. Yeah, definitely. All right, let's take a look. All right, we're still looking all right. We're descending through to 8,000. We can probably reduce again further our rate of descent. We're looking good. Smoke midwach. No. I don't do that. I don't do that. Any idea when Flight Factor will release the 787? I have no clue. Aviation Kid 767, welcome to the stream, my friend. Glad to have you with us. Now I'm planning a flight, the next flight, probably we haven't taken a look at the fly-by-wire A320. The fly-by-wire project has evolved tremendously, and the aircraft is actually looking pretty good. It flies good, and they've brought in a lot of improvements to the aircraft. Now it is of course based on the ASUS Asobo A320. But it's far beyond the Asobo aircraft now in terms of the fidelity and the simulation of the systems, and it just keeps on improving with time. So yeah, it is definitely worth looking at, and worth looking at regular intervals, just on all the updates they bring to the aircraft. Scott says Q8 equals Q8. That is correct. Aviation Kid was asking, Q8, where are you from? And there you have it, the answer from Scott. KC, the I&I planes don't get much love from streamers. That is unfortunate. I think I've done a few flights. I've done one on the MRTT variant of the aircraft, and I will tell you that the airliner of the year 2021 is the I&I build A310, followed by the Felis Boeing 747. If you just look at, now they're both study level aircraft. They're both done with a lot of finesse, with a lot of attention to detail, and both are study level simulations. I like the texture work on the I&I build slightly more, so I think it is better, especially the passenger cabin, and they've got a lot of different features in the passenger cabin. The Felis isn't bad either. It's being a classical aircraft, of course, it's going to look different, but they really, and the variants, of course, they've got several variants of the aircraft. So considering everything, it remains, in my view, the I&I build A310 remains the airliner of the year 2021. The first runner-up is the Felis Classic 747-2 Classic, and I'm waiting to see what is the what is going to happen with the Q400 by Fly Jason. But as far as we're concerned today, yeah, I think the I&I build still wins. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to start descending a little more. So we're going to descend to our platform altitude, and so we're going to increase our rate of descent. All right, and we are going to set our QNH to 1006. 1006. Set and cross-checked. That's about right, and we're going to decrease our speed to 240 knots. And if we look here, you'll see, let me just remove auto follow me. So now we're actually not too far from our destination, as you can see here. So we've got, let's see, we've got 10, 26, about 30 nautical miles, 37 nautical miles before we reach our destination. 1,000 feet per minute is perfectly fine. We can probably reduce the rate of descent to 500 or so. And let's go to 230 knots. Hey, we've got a friend from the Philippines. Welcome, my friend. Ven Limited, welcome. Max West, hello, my friend. Welcome. I thought you did the Beluga. Yes, I certainly did. I did the Beluga. I did the A300. I did the A310, several flights. So yeah, I've given it some love, but probably the aircraft I've given, you know, most love to was the RYUJIN. I've done a lot of flights on the RYUJIN. So yeah. All right, so 237,000. We are almost at 2,500 feet. So we are reaching our platform altitude, and we're looking good, folks. X-plane is just great. Yeah, so here is, we need to be at 2,500 feet, and then we'll begin reducing our speed, setting our flaps, doing all that good stuff, and then it will be our approach into Dublin. 1,000 to level off. We're doing just fine. And we can probably set this to 500 feet per minute exactly, and we should be fine. So at the next waypoint, folks, what we're going to do is we are going to reduce our speed to 227 knots, and we're going to extend flaps 1, and we're going to maintain 2,500 feet until we reach our destination. So as you can see now, we're making the turn to, this is our final leg, or actually before the final leg. And we'll just maintain 2,500 feet until established on the localizer. Everything is looking good. Greetings from Algeria. You may visit DAAG Airport on X-Lane. Well, thank you very much for making a suggestion, my friend. Appreciate it. All right, so we are at the specified restriction, 2,500 feet. As you can see, we are not too far from the runway. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reduce our speed to 227 knots. If we look here, landing performance. So 227 and flaps 1, 207 flaps 5. All right, so I'm not sure what happened there. Alt select is set. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
All right, and we're going to do alt hold. And we'll keep it at 2,500 feet. We're not, we're actually pretty close now, about 14, yeah, some 21 nautical miles from our destination. We're looking good. Right, so we're going to maintain current speed and altitude until established. As you can see here, we are not too far, and in fact, if we look at, see, this is us right there. So we're going to make the turn here, and then we're going to intercept the localizer. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and reduce our speed to 207 knots and extend flaps 5, 207 knots. And speed check, flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
Captain Canada was on stream saying that XB12 in its current state is bad, especially the A330. Really? Well, we have greetings from Flyboy from Norway. Welcome, my friend. And my warm regards to you. He said the A330 was mushy. I don't know what that means. High latency with fly-by-wire.
Localizer alive.
All right, localizer is alive, ladies and gentlemen, and we are now going to start reducing our speed to 187 knots. 187. And now if we look here,
Flaps 10.
that's where we are. So the runway is right ahead. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to switch this to radio. And we're going to switch this to ILS. And we're going to select gear down momentarily. Let's go to 167.
Flaps 20.
Flaps 20. And as we see the needle here moving down, let's go ahead and select gear down.
Gear down.
And let's go ahead and do the before checklister. Come on. Checklist. Next one. Landing checklist start.
Landing checklist. Gear. Damn. Gears down. Green light. Down and check.
Down and check. Flaps.
Glide slope is active.
Hold on. Flaps 25. Flaps 25.
Flaps 25. Ignition.
Damn. Flight start.
Anti-skid.
Check.
Altimeters. 1006. Set and cross-check. Landing checklist completed.
All right, let's take a look here. 152, flaps 30.
Flaps 30.
All right, we're all set.
1,000.
1,000 feet. Let's go ahead and disconnect the autopilot.
Approaching 2-8.
Right, auto throttle is disconnected.
500. Fifty, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Come on. There we go. Ooh.
Check reverse. Auto brake off.
Not sure exactly what happened there, but come on, please stop, 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 stop. Oh, come on.
60 knots.
Oh, well.
Out off reverse.
Well, I tell you guys, it's much better than the previous landing, but yeah, we overshot the runway. I think the runway was probably we needed a full. The auto brakes probably should have been on full, but nonetheless, we made it okay. We overshot the runway, so emergency vehicles are on the way again. But you know what? I'll tell you guys, I'm pleased with this flight. I think it was a lot of fun, and at least you know we've. I hope that I was able to show you everything that is to be done in the Felis 747 in terms of setting the aircraft up from its golden dark state and takeoff, landing, you know, intercepting the ILS, all of that good stuff. So I hope that it was an informative and useful flight. We are going to park at the gate, and then we're going to take a look at the our landing. Track the flaps.
Flaps up.
Beautiful scenery by Airsoft. This is Dublin version 2. Flaps are retracted. Yeah, practice makes perfect for sure, and I'm quite happy with what we've done here. Yeah, I'm cursed on the runway, I guess. Yeah, but it was. I probably should have put the reversers immediately on touchdown. But nonetheless, it was all right. I'm not, you know. Let's see here. Yeah, I think we can go to the terminal from Taxi Hotel 2, and we'll just make the turn there. Just look at this beauty. The Queen of the Skies, the Boeing 742. Classic by Felis, ladies and gentlemen. The runner-up, the first runner-up for Airliner of the Year 2021, only second to the I-9 build A310, a masterpiece of an aircraft. Beautiful rendition of the 742 by Felis. Let's kill the lights. here comes the terminal. Beautiful airport, really Dublin airport by Airsoft.
Approaching. 3.
Version 2. Alrighty. And this is where we can park the aircraft right there. All right, parking brake is set. Perfect. We can now kill all the lights. And we are done. Can kill fuel. All right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the replay. So, oh, that's perfect. Just look at that beauty of an aircraft. Gotta love it. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, I think I was a little too late on the reversers. That's one thing for sure. And that's why we overshot the runway. Man, just look at that. Wow. Thank you very much, Glenn. Appreciate your kind comments. Did you see the rabbits on the grass? All in all, smooth touchdown, but long rollout. That's absolutely right. Man, look at that view. Just look at that, how majestic the 747 looks. An iconic aircraft designed originally by Joe Sutter, the father of the Boeing 747. Absolutely incredible rendition of the aircraft by Felis. Absolutely epic. Man, you gotta love this aircraft. Well, folks, I hope that you've enjoyed this live stream, and where we took the Felis Boeing 742 Classic from London Stansted to Dublin, Ireland. I hope that I was able to redeem myself. Thank you very much, Sajil, is it? Thank you very much, appreciate it. Give it one last go. Third time is a charm. Absolutely, Amari. AvGeek, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Well, folks, I hope that you've enjoyed the stream. I hope that it was a useful stream, informative. I hope that you were able to learn something new through this live stream tonight. And I want to wish you all a pleasant day. Please do stay safe. And until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in tonight. And I will see you all very soon. Goodbye for now, and good night.